Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ludi tonight. It is, as I mentioned, a very special night because look, I have Mizuno here, the reigning champion of the Belong local. I don't know what to call it.
The Central Ohio Inc. League, I believe, is the official term.
Yeah. So it's been a really busy day for us. That's actually kind of why we were running a little bit late. But hey, we have a really fun set today. We have Cherry Limeade versus Tuki 2. We saw Cherry Limeade play last week, and they had such a fun comp that we talk about. You know, we have Shiny's Charger, we have Lily's Junior. Pika was just tearing it up on the Splatana Stamper, and then Krim going crazy with the Glugas, and I mean, just a full powerful roster from Tuki 2 as well.
I was gonna say, my eye on tonight for Tuki 2 is Johan, a fantastic player, seeing a couple of their sets before. Regardless of the set matchups that they had week 2 into Ludi, this is gonna be a very competitive matchup here. This is not like by any means going to be any blowout. We're going to see some incredibly interesting compositions and some really good central fights, and I'm totally excited for it.
Yeah, and I think too that's one of the things we have seen in these higher div matches. You've just seen those nail biter close games, so this one probably going to be very similar to what we had seen before. And starting off on Splat Zone, Flounder Heights, you know, not a map and mode that everybody's really super crazy about. But it's a, you know, it's a map, it's a mode. What are you gonna do?
It's gonna be really interesting how teams are adapting to this new map mode combo, since it's the more favorable version of the favorable mode of Flounder Heights here. Taking a look at these initial comps, again, I am eyeing on Johan on that Charger, providing key support to their players and teammates. And you see Cherry Limeade running some really fun stuff here, Lily on the Junior as per usual. And already one down on the side of Cherry Limeade. Not a strong start. 2 down on the side of Cherry Limeade. Not the start that you want to see as the zone goes to Tuki's way.
Yeah, Tuki gonna try and make some quick work of this as we see some players pushing over on the side as well. So that's actually not gonna cap for as long as we thought. So Tuki 2 unfortunately couldn't get the cap earlier, able to get the picks, but now they are able to they're going to push up and get some splats, pushing everybody to the side. We see Pika here trying to flank just a little bit, but they are spotted by the Charger.
This is great positioning here by Tuki 2. This is like a pure lockout right here. And they're able to get the crucial picks that they need. Now both sides are 2 down, so we're going to see the zone start to change right here as Cherry Limeade is finally able to drive teammates away. And finally Cherry Limeade is going to take the zones to add points to the board.
Yeah, this will be an opportunity for them to finally use their specials and push them out. Let's take a look at the overhead cam as they are able to lock some of these players out, but Logan was trying to get a little bit of a flank perhaps, unfortunately not able to pull it off. 2v2 now still in the favor of Cherry Limeade. I don't think it's going to be enough for them to take over because we see members of Tuki 2 pushing towards the zone, but that is going to be crucial for Cherry Limeade to try and get back, and it's not going to work.
I was going to say, it's very important for Tuki 2 to make those neutral situations to stall the zone, and that was a great use of that time there. And they're finally able to take the zone their way. Hart getting a great splat on Lily. There goes Cherry Limeade's key painter. 2 go down on the side of Tuki, however, so we might see a zone kill here very soon.
Yeah, and with 3 players down now on Tuki 2, this will be their opportunity to try and push up. As they are able to take the zone, Cherry Limeade able to take it. Now once again pushing towards the side. Again, we haven't really seen any coordinated specials from Cherry Limeade's side yet, but it just seems that Tuki 2 is winning the 1v1s.
Right, exactly. And those are going to be crucial at the end of the day. I mean, these 1v1s are going to be detrimental to whoever loses them. And we already see here 1 Junior go down, 2 go down on the side of Tuki 2. That is not what you want to see right now, as the penalty points are winding away for Cherry Limeade, and they are finally going to take the lead and flip it back into their favor.
Yeah, that was a wonderful flank by Krim, just going up the side and taking out the Charger, and now they're going to 1v1 2K, but are going to get the trade, but this is going to just work out for Cherry Limeade. As long as you have the zone and you get the trades, that's just going to benefit you even more. So now with about 2 minutes left and 20 units remaining, Cherry Limeade is in control, but we do see Tuki 2 trying to push up on this left side, using some of these ink strikes to try and contest.
Great use of the ink strikes here because they have to quickly flip the zones there as the penalty clock was winding down. And great use of that timing too. That synchronization and staggering of specials there was crucial, and they get basically a delayed wipe on Cherry Limeade. Now with the situations flipped here, Cherry Limeade is going to have to literally climb a hill to take back the zone.
Yeah, that was really nice for Tuki too as well, because they were all grouped together. They didn't have to stagger back into the zone, which is going to make it more challenging for them. But they are going to lose control just for a little bit, but Tuki 2 still able to hold on. They're going to have to try and avoid some of this rain. We see the Junior Tart going to be backing up just a little bit, as other members are now trying to push forward too. Cherry Limeade now trying to throw in some torpedoes, really not making much of an impact just yet, and it looks like the lead is going to go over to Tuki 2.
Cherry Limeade is struggling with the special usage right here, but right at the nick of time getting 2 kills, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to flip the zone in time. And the clock is winding down for in Tuki 2's favor. And with the literal hill to climb, there is not enough time for Cherry Limeade to get the zone. I stand corrected. They're able to get a little bit more paint on the zone, but to no avail. Game 1 to Tuki 2. Lots of 2s right here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot of things that we need to keep track of. Try to remember some of these players too. A really good win for Tuki 2. It didn't seem like they turned up the heat until later on in the set, but again, they did what they needed to do to get the win. And whenever they were finally able to get that lockout, it was hard for Cherry Limeade to contest. So Tuki 2, just the coordination with their team, I think was unparalleled in this match.
I think part of it as well is callouts. You see Johan here able to get a clean cut there onto the not player from Cherry Limeade, and I think those types of shot calls really matter on a map like this, because you can come up from the zone onto any side, and being able to clearly call out who is coming and being the most obvious threat and eliminating that threat is really important. And Tuki 2 was the better team in this game to execute that, I think.
Yeah, and it really wasn't anything that came down to any comps or anything, because they were pretty similar. We had backlines, we had juniors, we had I mean, pretty much a very similar weapon comp, and we're going to be hopping into our next game. They readied up way too quickly for me. Couldn't even talk about Claim Blitz on Mahi and how, I'll say, unorthodox this map mode is, and people have opinions, right, Mizuno?
Oh yeah, opinions they do, and I'm actually surprised. I see a Bamboo, no more than an E leader on both teams, so Tuki 2 running with the Charger, Cherry Limeade with the Bamboozler, which is very interesting because how close quarters this map is. I was expecting E-leaders out the wazoo.
Yeah, you know, just as the Bamboo being the longest range, and then on Tuki 2 we do have the Squeezer. That's going to serve, oh no, well, the Charger too, serve as their back line. And this is going to be some early pressure actually from Cherry Limeade to try and push up, forcing some of these Tuki 2 members back. So one power comes actually already formed. It is going to be Lily who has it, with the rest of their team pushing up. Going to have to contest some of these specials that Tuki 2 is throwing their way.
This is a great stalling effort here on the side of Tuki 2, utilizing those specials at the absolute perfect moments here, because once this starts to happen, this tumbling effect onto the basket is crucial. I mean, 2 go down on the side of Tuki 2, so the stalling of the specials wasn't as effective as it could have been. Now Cherry Limeade has a wipe onto Tuki 2, and the clamps just keep flying into the basket.
Yeah, the worst possible time to get wipe is when your basket is open. As we see that Cherry Limeade is able to make quick work of this, getting some more claims. We see Shiny now flanking around the side, and they're actually going to seal the deal with that win, getting the 1 push KO. That is something we actually haven't seen tonight.
Wow, that was just a complete 180. I mean, Cherry Limeade was able to time that very well, and that could have been really just, it was just very seamless. Great teamwork and coordination on the side of Cherry Limeade, and that was just a great response after that close first game. I would feel really good if I were Cherry Limeade right now.
Yeah, you know, you could say it takes a game to warm up, and then with having these maps and modes being very different from each other too. You know, this actually is it's a map and mode I like, and I'm not a backline player by any means, and we know that backline kind of thrives, so having the Bamboo, having the wiper there just to get those picks. And like we see right here, this is where the wipeout happened when the basket was open. So it is just so hard to recover from that. And just a very impressive win from Cherry Limeade.
I mean, it's hard to recover, especially after the wipe. The clam respawns are right there, because this map is just so small and so close-knit. So, I mean, once you're able to get, you know, a 3-down situation or a wipeout situation, then it's just a tumbling effect right there.
Yeah, and next we will have Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard coming up. So a map and mode that we know we have seen, a part of the I would say the counter pick memes that we've witnessed over and over again. So a change of pace. We're finally on a map and mode that people generally like.
Favorable views, I would say, towards this map. No, nothing too controversial here. Now, taking a look at these comps, the teams took a little bit longer to get ready here, so we may see some switch-ups here. On the side of, let's see, Tuki now running an E-leader. That's what I would like to see on this map here, so that's going to be a key point of interest for me. Meanwhile, Cherry Limeade with the not wiper combo, Krim back on the 52 Gal. And we're going to see lots of killer whales here, Falco.
Yeah, lots of killer whales. Something that we don't see a ton, honestly, in a lot of these matches. So it's kind of good to see that they're going to be changing it up. So right now, it looks like Cherry Limeade taking the quick tower pick as they are approaching the first checkpoint. We see Shiny there. Lily is able to support Bubble for support as well, and this should be an easy pass through for Cherry Limeade.
Right, they were able to quickly get into Tuki's 2 pit, and that is the crucial point in order to ensure that the tower is able to go through not only the first checkpoint, now approaching the second checkpoint here. Great positioning here to kind of push Tuki 2 back into a really uncomfortable positioning here. I mean, when you have to have the junior drop like this, that is a very desperate situation. And all of a sudden, Cherry Limeade in one push. Oh my god.
Yeah, again, they've totally turned up the heat from game 1 where they lost on Flounder Heights. They're also making my job very difficult, updating a bunch of overlays and commentating at the same time. Mizuno can see that I'm like trying to do a million different things here at once. But either way, a really good game for Cherry Limeade. I don't think they had anything that they really played wrong.
I agree. I think Tuki too. I think they're fine. Like, their compositions are fine. I think they just had 1 or 2 moments that Cherry Limeade was able to take advantage of, and just, again, this tumbling effect. For example, the pressure on Snipe onto the crab tank making the crab tank just completely null and have no effect on getting kills or getting any pressure off. I think it's just the little things like that I think Cherry Limeade was just able to take advantage of a bit better.
Yeah, indeed. And it was hard. We never found an opportunity for Tuki to really break in. Again, this is one of those things where if we could see the KAs, I would be really interested to see who picked up a majority of those picks. So moving on to Brinewater Springs now. I swear these teams are wasting no time with some of these readying up. Again, kind of par for the course with predictable comps, so not too surprised.
We see one flip over from the 52 Gal to the Forged Splattershot Pro, which I am a very big fan of here. Meanwhile, we see Logan on the 52 Gal instead. Johan still on the E-leader. I love to see it. And typical Tart on the junior. This is going to be a bloodbath in the middle here. I mean, whoever is going to get the Rainmaker first, I think is going to have the crucial push onto the first checkpoint.
Yeah, and of course, this is a stage where there's only one checkpoint that you can go to, really only one route you can take, so getting to that first checkpoint and trying to push forward is going to be all that more important. So we do see Cherry Limeade pick up the Rainmaker first. Shiny's going to be grabbing it, and they are actually going to be able to make it. 2 players are going to go down now, 3 players, so a good stop for Tuki 2, but not before Cherry Limeade got to the checkpoint.
Great defensive front here on the side of Tuki 2, and with this E-leader here trying to get a pick on Lily, pushing them back over to their podium. There is a lot of blue paint on this field, and this is something that Tuki 2 could definitely take advantage of as they quickly pick up the Rainmaker and putting some shots down onto the field and making their way to their first checkpoint.
Yeah, and with 2 players down, that's going to be very nice as well. Going to get to that checkpoint and not... they actually kind of are in a position to pick up. But look at this. Pika is now trying to get the flank, but not able to get them in time before they push it to 47. So now Pika versus Logan here in a little 1v1. Logan going to be backing up, but forcing him through the wall. So that was a really good pick there on the side of Tuki 2. Now Cherry Limeade opting to pick it up, dropping it down to mid where the wave breaker is, trying to push up, but it's going to be hard with a 1-player disadvantage, 2 players.
Right, this is, and not to mention, there's just so much blue paint down. Tuki 2 is taking a much better advantage of their paint on the ground and on the field. Now they're picking up the Rainmaker once again, and Falco, this is a great opportunity to get some more points on the board, given how staggered Cherry Limeade is right now, and they're going to need to build up specials quick in order to stop them.
Yeah, and look at this. They are able to not really push it as far as they were hoping, I think, and we do see the specials coming out for Cherry Limeade, 2 players now down on Tuki 2, so again, it's close, obviously, with only 3 minutes remaining. You can't really predict anything yet because Cherry Limeade can just as easily get to that 43 mark as Tuki 2 did. They are going to be going down. I believe that was a shot down from the Charger who got them, and now 3 players down for Cherry Limeade.
Again, this back and forth. I mean, Cherry Limeade is right at the cusp there. They did have a pushing opportunity to get more points on the board and potentially flip the lead back into their favor. However, Johan being, again, a great anchor here and being supported by their teammates, particularly Logan here, it's just another opportunity. And wow, what a great stamp throw from Cherry Limeade. That was a great throw. Nice aim.
Yeah, and we do see that wipe out there from Cherry Limeade on Tuki 2. So again, 2 minutes remaining. Cherry Limeade can capitalize on this, but it's hard because you have the Rainmaker at mid. All of Tuki 2 just knows that you're going to go for this push right away. Pika trying to hop up on the side, not able to make it, going to go down. Logan is going to be trading with Shiny. Krim is still alive, and it looks like alone by the Rainmaker. Can they win this 1v1? Yes, they can. Now they're going to go for Booyah, but that's a tricky spot. You're right in the line of sight for Tuki 2.
Wow, another great pick there, stuck in the ink by Krim. Lily just picking up the Rainmaker, but they were unable to pick up the lead. I believe Tart, the junior, got the kill, and Tart grabs the Rainmaker and smartly drops it down onto this left kind of alley pit area. And that was a great call because that takes off a lot of pressure. And now Tuki 2 is in a great situation to get even more points on the board and put Cherry Limeade in a difficult spot, down to 36 points, and they're still going up that hill. Someone was able to take it out. I think it was Lily there.
Yeah, it's hard in that situation if you want to play it careful or be aggressive. You already have the lead, but you know that you can try and extend your lead just as much as you can, knowing that you're likely going to get splatted. So now with 1 minute remaining, Lily's going to be picking up the Rainmaker. Not their last chance, but enough to get control of mid, making sure that Tuki 2 won't be in a terrible spot for them to drop it down. And we see Johan getting I believe that was Johan who got the snipe. I'm not quite sure, but very nice. And the Rainmaker barrier is going to get them, but look at this. Krim is going to pick it up and take the lead.
Oh my god. Cherry Limeade just had them at the crux of their hands there because there was just so much pressure from the killer whale. There was just so much paint pressure that Tuki 2 wasn't able to get back onto the field in time, and with those staggered spawns, now they're the ones at the back foot.
Yeah, now with 15 seconds remaining, not quite Tuki 2's last push, but with 3 players down, it's going to make it harder, and it looks like Cherry Limeade will be in a position to guard this Rainmaker, opting to not pop it quite yet, which is good. You don't need to pop the Rainmaker, but when you have 2 players down and Tuki 2's able to pick it up, it's going to be hard. So here's Tuki 2's last opportunity, needing to get to that 26 mark.
They need to play really patient here, I think, because they don't have to worry about getting sniped from out of nowhere. They do have to worry about this Booyah, granted, but I think they have enough time to play this patiently and wait for a couple of key picks. I think this might be their moment, Falco. There's 3 down. It's almost like a staggered wipe. They're playing this very, very carefully, and I can understand why, being very wary of the auto bombs, the torpedoes coming out. Spica just holding onto this Rainmaker for dear life. And they just have 20 points left.
Oh, it's going to be hard to avoid the whale and the torpedo, and that is ultimately what is going to get them. So it actually lasted longer than I thought it would for Tuki 2. You know, they took down Krim or Pika, whoever had the stamp, and I thought that was going to seal the deal. But it's hard when you're in that situation, playing the patient game with the Rainmaker, knowing you only have a kind of narrow path that you can take. But ultimately worked out in Cherry Limeade's favor. They are winning right now, winning the set 3-1.
That clutch factor from Cherry Limeade, and I think understanding, they finally got a good grip of how they wanted to actually approach this Rainmaker situation and how they want to actually approach their pushes. I think they had a struggle with the first 3 minutes of the match, trying to figure out what was kind of the right key to the door in a way, like what was the right combination to get through. And once they were able to clutch it out and secure it.
All right, and yeah, taking a look at this replay, it was hard for Tuki 2 to make that stop as they tried to get that push. So unfortunately not going to get the win for them, but we'll be looking forward to this next game, I'll say.
I think this is where the whole bit about momentum in a set comes into play, right? Because this is a best of 9 set. And I don't think Tuki has completely lost momentum yet. I think if they were to lose this next game, the momentum shift will be really difficult to come back from. But I think there's still a glimmer of hope. I mean, again, these games are close games, barring the Clam Blitz Mahi game. That being said, I think Tuki has great opportunities still, especially utilizing opportunities from Johan into this next match.
All right, and let's hop into that next game. We will be going to Splat Zone's Hammerhead Bridge. So once again, Cherry Limeade winning so far 3-1, but Tuki too, they're definitely not out of it. I mean, we've seen how competitive that they have been, and taking a look at these comps, really nothing has changed that much. We are going to see Tenta missiles come out now from Tart though.
I was going to say, Tart on the Flingza with the Squeezer combo, I really like that. The paint pressure from Flingza here is incredible, not to mention, of course, the Tenta missiles that everyone still loves to hear about. So with Cherry Limeade 1 down with the Wiper, and the zone goes to Tuki 2, this is a good start for them.
Yeah, it is a good start, and now we see that's an opportunity where Shiny was just trying to push over and paint whatever they could paint. And now they are able to get the cap too, so once again, Cherry Limeade's opportunity to now push up. It looks like they are able to push up just a little bit, getting pick by pick as some of these Tuki 2 members are using their specials.
Right, I mean, they were just unable to take advantage of that zone that they were able to have at the start and just fell to a couple of good picks from Krim. Again, Krim's clutch factor is just phenomenal when Krim is supported by their teammates. Now, Cherry Limeade is in a great position in this kind of lockout situation with the Booyah trying to pincer Tuki 2 into their spawn, getting a trade out from it, which is fine. But now that the clock is 3/4 left, Tuki 2 is in a very difficult spot as 3 are down right now.
Yeah, and look how far up Pika is doing what Pika does best with this Wiper. Again, trading is fine if you're the winning team, but if you're on the losing side of things, it's not going to be easy for you, as we see nobody is even close to this zone. So Cherry Limeade winning that game in a very game 2 and 3 fashion that we had seen before.
Just Pika's pressure with the Wiper and the support that Pika's able to get from Lily. I mean, it's great. Just great coordination and synchronization on their part. And I mean, no wonder Tuki 2 was just completely locked out there. So again, now I talk about the momentum here. This is do or die for Tuki 2. And again, it's not like these are complete and just total devastations here. I think with a couple of adjustments and being able to specifically target key players like Pika or Krim, I think Tuki 2 can still get a couple of games off of Cherry Limeade here.
Yeah, and this is where we see Pika just getting those picks one by one in that lockout phase. And Shiny, they're able to get some help and support too, some suction bombs being thrown. Like a flawless game for Cherry Limeade.
Like you pointed out, Pika and Shiny working together in tandem like that, great positioning and team coordination right there. I mean, it was just a very successful lockout situation. Like you pointed out during the match, in the last 10 seconds, no one was on the zone. The zone was just completely deserted.
Yeah, now that these teams are actually taking some of their time, we can go back to the webcams. I also apologize. Oh, never mind. The pronouns are not incorrect before. Well, I don't have any. He, him. Okay. That's honestly what I was trying to figure out and fix during some of these games. But yes, again, I am Falco. Mizuno is joined with me. Cherry Limeade trying to win this set, and they can do it right here in Game 5 with Claim Blitz Macamart.
I'm curious about these comp changes because you pointed out Tuki 2 took a little bit more time to come up with what they wanted to run for this map mode here. We do see a Charger instead of E-Leader. It looks like Tart is still back on the Junior. Logan is back on the Gal again. Crims with the Tri-Slosher. I actually really like this pick here on Mako.
Yeah, you know, it is a good pick because Inkjet can be really nice, and of course having that height advantage when you're on the stacks using that Tri-Slosher is going to be great. And now we see a 2v2, and it looks like Cherry Limeade a little more in control, but not before Johan able to take out Lily with their chargers. So now Tuki 2 trying to push up some more and get some of these picks. They are able to get them, and look at that. 2 players are now going to go down on Cherry Limeade. We do have a power claim at the ready. That claim is going to be going in, and 3 players are now down on Cherry Limeade.
I told you guys to watch Johan in Tuki 2. I told you all. And what a great execution there. Great picks that were crucial in turning the tides and getting this pop onto the basket. Now we see Cherry Limeade, of course, in their old fashion, quickly responding and shooing them away. Now with a lot of yellow on the map, they already popped the basket on their own in just a matter of 10 seconds. Already the basket is open.
Yeah, and that is huge for Cherry Limeade. First, they only allowed Tuki to get to 71. Then you have that quick counter push that is actually going to get you the lead and keep applying pressure. And look, we have a jump by the basket. That's actually going to be the pity claim. Shiny able to get that in, getting Cherry Limeade all the way down to 36.
Great use of the wave breaker there on the side of Cherry Limeade. That was a great use of it because that allowed that opportunity for Shiny to come in with that ball and jump right in classic, plan blitz fashion. This is a lot of pressure onto Tuki 2 right now as they, attempt to recover the ball here and are looking to create another push here with 2 specials online.
Yeah, now Tuki trying to push up, and we see all the specials being used by both teams as they're able to get a few picks. Again, they do have the power claim. It's the junior who's holding it, but look at this. Look who it is. No one else besides Pika pushing up and getting that splat, but unfortunately going to go down 2 as well. 3 minutes left. We see some trades back and forth, and Tuki 2, they have time that they can use to recover, but it's not really working out right now.
And right now the problem is their special usage is going to waste. They were using 2 specials to stop 1 player, and that's not a great use of them at this moment where they need to save them or preserve them for the important pushes where they need to completely open a window of opportunity for the basket.
And now we see Lily being chased as they're approaching the basket, going to be going down. So we see all the action now on the side of Cherry Limeade's basket. That's actually going to be really good for Tuki 2 if they're able to get something going. Logan finally scoring with that power claim. So this could be Tuki 2's opportunity to try and push. But we see Pika taking this left side, making sure nobody can get there. We see a jump in from the power claim. It's actually going to be stopped by Shiny. So Logan is still, they're still alive flanking, but has no clams, and they're going to be alone with that power claim that unfortunately couldn't go in, and somehow makes that jump out.
I was gonna say, there was a crucial flank there that was able to stop Tuki 2's ink vacuum from actually, being beneficial during that push. A great stoppage there on the side of Cherry Limeade. However, while they're trying to get this neutral situation, 2 are down here, and Lily's getting a lot of pressure onto that stack. And another Cherry Limeade member jumps right out. Tuki 2 is putting on a lot of good pressure here, and they need to keep this up in order to get the ball back into the basket.
Yeah, and Tuki 2, they do have some map control, but unfortunately they just haven't had the claim economy, and now they can finally capitalize on having this player advantage. They had a 3-player advantage, but still no power claim is formed just yet, and of course they do have some time. All it takes is 1 good push to get this win, and they have it ready. Killer Whale now being used. We see some torpedoes, and we see Pika now coming up and getting that pick. So taking out the power claim is going to be good, but Tuki 2 still in it trying to score.
Multiple times now, Pika has been playing Spoiler Maker and ending any chances of Tuki 2 of creating these pushes. I mean, that stall from Pika is crucial time being wasted. Here's Pika again on that stack. I believe this is probably the 4th time now, preventing the push from going any further. And just like that, Tuki 2, no more members by the basket, and they are just 5 points shy from taking the lead. Cherry Limeade coming in clutch on that defensive front, thanks to Pika.
2 claim would have done it. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it happen. Tuki 2 did a really good job forming their power claim and just kind of like tossing it off, making it a little more unpredictable of knowing who was going to score, knowing what type of weapon that they would have. So now they're in a position, Cherry Limeade is in a position to just try and play some defense and get some map control. They do have a 2-player advantage, so this is looking really good. Lily might be going to try and score to prevent this overtime. It looks like they are in a good spot, but it doesn't matter because Tuki 2 didn't even have a power claim ready. Cherry Limeade is going to take the win. The set win 5-1.
Wow. I mean, just wow. Again, Tuki 2, they had just so many really good moments to initiate the pushes that they need for the basket. But like I said, Pika on the wiper playing Spoiler Maker was probably the biggest crutch to their plans. And just a fantastic effort on the side of Cherry Limeade and taking advantage of Pika's key plays. I mean, Pika was a true playmaker here the past couple of games, and it was a joy to watch them go on this wiper. I mean, people need to take some lessons from them.
Yeah, and this one, of course, not as close as games 2, 3, and 5 that we had seen before. But again, not the prettiest win from Cherry Limeade. You don't need to make it look pretty. Of course, they did a lot of fantastic things, like we said. Pika just coming up and being the spoiler maker that you had mentioned, and making it very hard for Tuki 2 to go in. But yeah, here's where Lo is going to try and make that push, but this was right when the power claim went away from Tuki 2. So a wonderful set for Cherry Limeade. They are going to be moving up to 2-0. Tuki 2 going to be dropping to 0-2 in their Div 1 Ludi group.
I think Tuki 2 still has great opportunities, though. I mean, I really love the synergies with Johan and the rest of their teammates. Again, that was like the key player I had my eye on personally. And just knowing Tuki 2's roster, I think this is a great matchup from both of them. And what a great set. Just really enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's hard when you win game 1 and then lose the next 5 in a row. Because you gotta win. You can contest, you can hang. And Tuki 2 did that in the... I think the Rainmaker and the Clam Blitz match. So some things just benefit you and some things don't work out, and Cherry Limeade just capitalized on the player advantage when they had that against Tuki 2.
Not to mention adjustments made. I think there was just some key kind of play-making decisions that Cherry Limeade was able to adjust from after such an aggressive showing that Tuki 2 had from Game 1 zones, Flounder Heights. I think those key adjustments matter, like mid-set, and I think that was something that Cherry Limeade was able to take advantage of.
Certainly. And hey, we still have one more set that is headed your way tonight. We just saw Cherry Limeade versus Tuki 2. We have a Div 11 matchup, the first Div 11 matchup on Ludi tonight. It is going to be Tag versus Deep Sea Metro. This game going to be starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so we have a little bit of time before it gets started. But you guys don't go anywhere. Enjoy some wonderful tunes. I know I'm going to get a bag of pretzels or something because I'm really hungry. But you guys stick around. You're watching Ludi tonight on Splatoon Tourney.